All right, guys, what is going on? My name is Joe, aka Cap.
Got Bash.
And I'm Francis.
Dom unfortunately could not be here, but this still is the
You don't get off that easy this time, Cap.
What? What are you?
I have something entertaining for you today.
Uh-oh.
What are you, dude? What are you talking about?
Rutro Raggy.
Why do you?
A couple amount of weeks ago, WWE came out with their top current 50, I think, or 100 superstars, right?
I believe
Okay.
so.
Well, AEW did the same. And this is... Oh, it's so stupid.
Is it time for a Scott take?
All right, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
it 100% is. Because,
Scott take coming from a mile away.
All right, here we go, folks. Time for a Scott take.
Bunker
when
down.
you think of ranking your top 30 superstars, what do you guys... Superstars, right? You rank your top 10. Everybody, when you say rank your top 10 superstars, how many people do you mention per pick?
One, I assume.
guess usually one.
Well, AEW has decided to make entire factions one giant superstar into this rankings,
That's
which is
communism. That's communism.
completely idiotic.
Fucking communism,
because-
man.
Coming from a company that has 6-man factions all over the place, there's some of those wrestlers that just stand there and do nothing. Do not give them credit.
That's fucking
So-
communism because, like, oh, it's like all of us. It's our thing.
So here's a couple. This is their honorable mentions from 40 to 31. Dustin Rhodes is on 40, which I thought was low because he's an original member.
Red dust or blue dust or whatever the fuck he's doing right now. Soraya. I think that's Paige now.
Santana and Ortiz. That's a group in one grouping. Ruby Soho. The entire House of Black
Is
on
Dark
36.
Order still a thing? Yes or no?
Is
What?
what?
Is the Dark Order still a thing in AEW? Yes
No.
or no?
I don't know.
No, I don't think they are.
So at 35 is another group being claimed. Claudio Castagnoli is 34. Chris Statlander is 33. Ricky Starks is 32, in which I saw a video today, earlier, that says that Ricky Starks, if I got the name right, I'm sorry if I didn't, but
No,
Ricky
you got
Starks is being... Ricky Starks is currently, rumored is that he's currently being blacklisted on AEW by making him not show up for shows, making him not do anything because
Yeah,
he sides with CM Punk.
I also hear his contract is up and he might be heading to Big Dub soon.
So
Yeah, so they think they're punishing him because of he has an opinion that's not theirs, and he's probably going to go with WWE. So we thank you on another superstar returning or
all right, what
having
are
sense.
so I
And Wardlow finishes it at 31, which kinda, I guess, I like Wardlow a bit, but he really hasn't. It was only last year when he started wrestling.
all right. So
What number
Like
does
Solo.
Kenny Omega show up in?
yeah, what number is?
Well, I'll let you know.
What number
30
is?
is Jungle Boy, which I'm surprised they didn't put Jungle Boy up higher. I'll just put it it's like big ones that put it. Sammy Guevara is 28, which I thought was really low. We have Adam Cole at 27.
Bebe.
Thunder Rosa. We got Pac at 24.
The bastard.
Brody Lee at 23.
Rip.
Okay, hold on.
Mojo,
Hold
22.
no, hold on. I need to
Oh God,
I need to jump in here. So
Go for it.
I'm noticing a very distinctive pattern here. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think the most egregious part of this is the fact that they put factions on as one person. I don't necessarily give a
It's
shit about
just that
that,
it's
but
obvious, right?
it's stupid, but like
Yeah, it's
I don't
communism.
find that
We've
to
been
be
over that.
egregious. What I find to be
Oh, we might have it.
what I find to be egregious right now at this point of the list is the fact that are we serious? 2 of your 4 pillars of AEW are in the bottom of the list? Claudio Castagnoli isn't even in the top 30. Claudio's been giving you some of the best matches you've had in the past year.
Well, he's Claudio Castagnoli. He doesn't.
The one-
fucking
And he
adhere
doesn't
to
even
rules that
deserve to
us
be in the
here
top. And he doesn't even deserve to be in the top 30. Ricky Starks. Listen, regardless of the politics of it all, Ricky Starks is, in my mind, one of the best homegrown talent that this company has had. This dude has everything to him. And it's another story kind of similar to Jade Cargill, where it's all just being sort of buried in this company. So it's wasted talent, it's wasted potential. So if anything,
Yeah.
I find that to be far more egregious than anything about like the House of Black being one spot in a top 30, top 40 list or whatever. I find that to be
It's
far
crazy.
more egregious.
Yeah, and even though it's on Bleacher Report, and you kind of have a feeling when I tell you more of this list coming down, even though it's from Bleacher Report, you kind of feel like some places are there for, outer reasons.
So I have a question, Scott.
I'm surprised Sammy Guevara is at 28 because wasn't he like a
He's
like
one
a
of your
main
4
title
pillars.
holder for like 3? Wasn't he like a main title holder for like 3 years? Like it was a long time when he had that title.
He's one
Yeah,
of
a
your
little bit.
he is one of your 4 pillars. He's one of the 4 homegrown quote unquote talents that you had in
Yeah.
this company, along with Jack Perry, Darby, and MJF. So, to be perfectly honest with you, that's what I got to get off my chest here. The fact that your homegrown talent, that the only reason, a lot of the reason that people know about these guys and these girls is because of your company, and they are not considered in your top 30, that I find to be ridiculous. But go ahead, Scott.
Anything, Francis?
Please continue.
What he said. I
Alright,
mean, listen,
really?
man. Cap already got his rage boner at like full mast, so I
Okay,
No,
hold on. Come on,
No,
for
I
the
like
love of
that.
God,
No,
Francis.
I'm
No,
not
Francis,
disagreeing with you.
No, Francis, you know when Cap's mad? When his inner Christopher Walken comes out.
He doesn't sound
My
like Christopher
what?
Walken. He said
No,
you
because
sound like
the way you start, because the way, you pause, when you get mad, you pause at certain moments, that sounds like Christopher Walken. Like, he would stop at this parts in movies, like, when people, make fun of him.
Okay.
That was what.
That is. Scott, I'm going to be so honest with that is the first time anyone has ever said that to me.
You heard it, the accent comes on, a few words, but I heard it come out.
Hold on, guys. There's only one way.
We'll do that afterwards.
I was gonna say, Cap.
We'll do
Guys,
that
we have a
after.
show to
Okay,
get
we'll do
through.
it
Come on now.
afterwards.
Just now, Francis can pay attention when next time it happens. Samoa Joe's 22. Eddie Kingston's 21. Swerve Strickland is 20.
How is he
here's
only
the-
20?
Here's the faction. Lucha Bros, both of them, is a 19.
Dude.
Have the Lucha Bros even been on TV in the past year or anything like that?
I don't fucking
Yeah.
know. I don't watch AEW.
No,
The
hold
only thing
on.
I watch is
Hold
WWE.
on. Oh, this might be the worst one yet. I forgot about number 18.
Oh fuck.
Number 18's the biggest slap in the face.
Who is
It's
it?
Jade Cargill.
Wow.
But she's not with their company anymore. You fucking little dweeb. Tony Khan.
Yes, but she was Francis, you don't understand that this chick lost once in their company. They're gonna mention people even higher that are no longer in this top 30. Remember, I didn't mention this. CM Punk's on this list.
What?
I was about to say, if Punk is on.
Yes, I didn't mention him yet, but Punk's on this list.
If Punk is on.
Jade Cargill's 18, and she was a champion. She held that champion for
she was
more
undefeated
time.
For her almost her entire time.
More than the company probably had that belt. That was fully like stabilized.
And once again, she's
undefeated until the last one.
And like I said, she's another homegrown talent. Like what the hell is this list? Who wrote this?
Yeah, nope, I can hear it, Scott.
Fuck you guys.
We love you. All right, here's another faction at 17, which is kind of a low blow. FTR. A little bit, maybe a little higher, but
I don't have as big of a problem as I have with the other ones.
Number 16 is Christian Cage. Why is he so high when he was just in the company like a year?
Heels.
He's literally one of the best acts that they have right now.
Is it?
Yeah, but
you would know more about this than I do. Is it Christian Cage is currently like he kicks people in the balls?
No, his thing is that he keeps on mentioning like disgruntled families and mentioning either you don't have a dad or you wish you had a dad or you're a bad dad. Stuff like that, you know?
No, but mentioning the names before him, he should not be this high.
I disagree. I think this is fine for him because he is one of your best heel acts right now. But
yeah.
Compared to the other ones, this one's not that bad.
Hikaru Shida is 15.
Oh, she's still there. That's cool.
Toni Storm is 14.
I think she should be higher, to be honest.
Here's your number 13, CM Punk.
God.
Rent free and wow.
Let me ask you guys this genuinely. How do we feel about the fact that not only is CM Punk mentioned on this list, but the fact that he is so high, especially above people who
he hasn't really done anything in the company. In the beginning they wanted him, but then at the end they were trying to get rid of him. Like,
all I'm going to say is, remember when I made a joke about the Kendrick Drake rap beef and how Kendrick redefined hatred? Right now, Tony Khan is redefining pettiness.
But like, how petty can this really be that CM Punk is number 13 on your list when realistically he was only around in your company for like a few months?
It was more than a few months.
He was injured
for a
through
bit,
a lot of it.
He was injured through a lot of it, and he didn't really win. He only had, 1 or 2 title reigns. These people in this company have a lot more than that right now. But, all right.
With the MJF feud.
Yeah, and that was like at the beginning of his career.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Darby Allin is 12.
Okay, that is bullshit.
I'm waiting for one of the pillars to be in the top 10, and 3 of them are now not in there.
There's only one left.
Superstars.
And if he's at least not in the top 5, then this list should not be taken serious. MJF should be the last pillar.
MJF? Oh, well, here's another pillar that didn't crack the top 10. Orange Cassidy.
He's not a pillar.
He's not a pillar. I mean, he is technically
homegrown.
Technically, I guess you would consider Orange
to be. He's not one of the 4 pillars. Like the official 4 pillars are MJF, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy. But like, he's a mainstay. But Orange Cassidy isn't a pillar. He's just a guy who's really popular.
Apparently, not popular enough.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy about this one, but it also kind of doesn't make sense with Jade Cargill being 18, is the fact that Sting's number 10. And even though Sting was undefeated, Jade Cargill was a lot better.
Well, that's because
Jade Cargill is also like half of Sting's age.
I was going to say, unlike Sting, Jade Cargill isn't a senior citizen.
Don't get me wrong, I love
Cody
Sting,
Rhodes
but like, come on.
Is 9.
Get the hell out.
That kind of it kind of sucks putting him on this list because he kind of had to kill his own career in this company.
He didn't kill. I
He
wouldn't
didn't
necessarily
kill
say
his
killed
own company.
Francis, he literally had a match saying, if I lose, I can't fight another title. I can't go after another title match. And he lost. And he couldn't go after another title.
He couldn't go after the world title specifically.
The world title, which was what he wanted to do. Which is the exact reason why he wanted to do something else to see if he can get to that area. And then he's like, oh, nope, I'm going to have to do a simulation where I can't do it anymore.
Did he really want the world title, or did he?
I'm sure that's the reason he left WWE, is because he wanted to grow his persona, get away from what he was dealing with, and
That's
also
why he
see
gave
that
himself
if
the
he
NWA title.
yeah, and then also see if he's capable of reaching that next level. Like if he wasn't sure that he could be a main event talent, then he probably would have stayed with AEW.
He left AEW because people were starting to turn on him.
Then please ignore what I'm saying. I got confused. I thought we were still talking about like the AEW world title or stuff, something like that.
No.
All right, ignore
The
me.
title was
Then.
all part of Cody Rhodes' subject.
Cody left AEW because people were starting to turn on him because his
Yeah,
storyline started getting stupid.
but regardless, I don't know. Is it weird that I still kind of find that to be low for him?
I mean, you can make the argument like, oh, he hasn't been there in actual years, like 3 years at this point.
It's also technically his company, so
Not anymore.
I mean, it hasn't been for a while, but like, I don't know. All right. Anyway, Scott, continue.
Yeah. Britt Baker is number 8.
That fits for her,
All right.
I think.
That's fine, yeah.
Adam Page is number 7.
That kind of fits, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I see where they're going to go with it. Who's number 6, Scott?
Chris Jericho.
Okay, it's all the people who stuck around since Double or Nothing, the first one.
Cracking the top 5 is Bryan Danielson.
Daniel Bryan Danielson, that's right.
Daniel Bryan Danielson.
Daniel Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, I kind of.
Daniel
Does he
Bryan
deserve? Do you guys think he deserves to be in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. He's pound for pound one of the best wrestlers that they've ever seen in that show. He's safe.
I mean,
he's like.
I wouldn't mind switching him with just a swap with Jericho. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
You'd put
Jericho's
Jericho in
there
the top
to
5?
crack the top 5. He deserves, because he's the one that literally
First ever
title holder.
champion.
He's the one that brought it on, and he literally picked up the pillar to make it stand. So like,
Who's next, Scotty?
number 4 is this is where I don't like it. The Young Bucks, both of them on number 4.
They did that with the other tag teams. There's 3 more spots left.
To be honest,
Because it's saying the reason why I don't like it is because it's showing that the whole faction is equal. When you know damn well that there is always one wrestler, no matter how similar of a tag team they are, because we've noticed this about the Usos, there's always one that's a little better.
There are some tag teams I just can't. True, but
The Hardy Boys, it was Jeff. Even though Edge and Christian both went to win a world title, it was obviously Edge that was the more talented one.
all of these are true, but like here's one thing that I want to point out when it comes to the Young Bucks. And it's the simple matter of the fact is that like you could with the exception of the Usos, you could kind of see one person without the other in those other teams. Can either one of you genuinely tell me that you can see Matt without Nick or vice versa?
Yeah.
There's always one that kind of, I feel like there's one that does.
So let me ask you this, which one is better then,
I feel
Scott?
like I don't know because I can't tell them apart because I don't watch AEW like that. I look up the news and I don't really care for them that much.
They're the same guy.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine.
Guy.
The two of you don't watch a promotion. You only work on a wrestling
The one
show.
with darker hair color. There's one with black hair and there's one that's like
Matt.
3 different promotions, motherfucker. Get off my dick.
Yeah, I feel like Matt's the one. If that's the one with darker hair is the one
You
that I
think
feel
that
like
Matt's the
it
better
goes solo.
wrestler? I'm gonna be honest. I'm not able to answer that
But
question
it's hard-
because again, I can't see one without the other.
They both
It's
wrestled
hard
the
to-
exactly the same. I'm sorry.
But, all right.
They're fine with being a tag team for the rest of forever.
No, that's
Number
fine.
3
That's
is
not a
MJ.
bad thing. Who?
MJF.
Number 3 is MJF.
Who the hell
Is
is
number-
number? I'm not
Well,
as
you obviously know. You guys should know who 2 and 1 is.
okay.
Okay, one
And
of them
I feel like-
Kenny.
One of them's got to
Oh,
be
Mox-
one of them's
one-
got to be Mox.
It's Mox and Ken, dude. It's Mox and Kenny.
Who do you think's 1?
Kenny.
I think it's Mox.
Yeah, Cap's right. It's Moxley,
There you go.
the man who can't have a match without bleeding. Is apparently the greatest champ wrestler they've had,
And he's not
which
even
probably
champion
should
of their,
be.
He's not even champion of their fucking company right now. He's champion of New
Here's
Japan.
also the thing.
I think
Here's
they're
also
thinking
the other
overall though.
No, but here's the other thing. They show their accomplishments, and literally, Kenny Omega's literal accomplishments are doubled in size compared to Moxley, and they have Moxley ahead of him.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Mox. Listen, despite all the jokes about the fact that, like, you know, he can't go a match without bleeding and things like that, the dude is still popular amongst their fans. Incredibly popular amongst their fans. Incredibly popular amongst even even the very few casual fans that watch AEW. If you were to show them a list of pictures, of performers, they'd probably pick out him first.
Moxley?
I would think so.
Yeah,
I feel
but
like
there's
this
also
is
the case. No, but there's also the case where Kenny Omega is one of the very few superstars that never went to the WWE program and is known by hardcore WWE fans that only watch WWE. You say Kenny Omega, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know him," because even I knew his name, and I didn't watch any New Japan, any stuff like that. All I was WWE. Even before I got back into WWE, I was hearing Kenny Omega's name. So it was like,
Scott, I'm inclined to agree with you because huge Kenny fan over here.
it says he's also the first AEW Triple Crown champion.
Yes.
Oh, listen, I don't agree.
Kind of.
I don't disagree with anything that's being. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say he was the first world champion?
Triple Crown.
First
Oh,
AEW Triple Crown.
Okay, I see. I don't know, man. I think it also comes down to this, and it's the fact that, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not denying that Kenny Omega is famous. He is beyond famous. You know, even when I knew nothing about New Japan, I still knew the name Kenny Omega.
Get well soon, cleaner.
Yes,
Let's
please
go.
do get well soon. But,
Yeah, Francis 2030.
But I don't know. I think it comes down to the fact that I don't know. I guess they're doing it by I guess you draw this up as like between Kenny Omega and Moxley, who would more people know? And, you know, if we're talking specifically the States, which is the only thing that I can really go off of right now, the
And even
answer
then,
is
a
probably
lot of
Mox.
Kenny has a lot of fans in the States.
I'm not
If we're
saying
talking
he
like
doesn't have a
broader
lot of
appeal
fans.
due to the-
Bro, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a lot of fans in the States. I'm
You're
saying
saying
that
like
on a
broader
scale.
appeal because of like the Shield and stuff.
Yes,
right.
yes. You want the truth? Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's also the fact that your number one guy is just a fucking crybaby who left WWE because he was looking at his future and he's like, well, I know I can be champion, but I don't think I'm gonna ever repeat as champion.
To be honest,
because when the Shield literally got there was a video and there's a Shield literally got all three comments towards them and got disrespected the same way. They all got curled the third best member of their group. But I know, me personally, John Moxley is the third best member in the group compared to the other two.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. Nobody wants to be the Ringo Starr of their group, which is the best way that I can describe that.
I'm actually really glad you brought that up because I was watching one of those Where Are They Now shows. Apparently, after the breakup, the Beatle who had the most initial success as a solo artist was fucking Ringo.
Yeah, that's great, Ringo.
Wow. Fucking, granted it didn't last forever, but like, just fucking wow. We live in a timeline where we could actually say, where Ringo could actually look at John, Paul, and George and say L plus ratio plus Ringo outsold him.
Well, when the time comes, Ringo Starr, when the time comes, he'll be able to make that joke.
When the time comes, indeed. But listen, nobody wants to be known as, I think, the worst member of their group.
The other guy.
Yeah, nobody wants to just be the other guy of their group. But you know, I do agree to an extent that, you know, even if you are like the least popular member of the Beatles, you're still a fucking Beatle. Like,
again,
you're still more talented than like 99.9% of the population.
So, what do you guys rate this?
I'm gonna say it's a bullshit
rating
list, man. I think it's a bullshit list, man. There are too many. To me, there are too many pillars, too many people, too many homegrown talents that are important to your company that are just far too low on this list. I'm fine with,
I mean, I understand certain ones being better than the other because there's obviously ones of those. But I understand. Need to have them, like, you need to give a take, like, how they help the company. You can't just put wrestling into it.
Okay, again.
Because they didn't put wrestling into it. Because if they put wrestling into it, Chris Jericho would be number one.
If you were going to go strictly by professional wrestling, let's be honest, Bryan Danielson would be the number one slot. If we're going strictly on that. Or Kenny. So, like, let's just get that out of our minds very quickly here. I'm going to be honest, I'm very confused as to what actually manufactured this list. I'm not understanding what elements came into writing this list, but the fact that so many of your homegrown talents are below even a guy like CM Punk, who hates your company's guts, by the way.
Who didn't really do that much to be that high on the list.
He didn't do that much, and he fucking despises you. And the fact that so many of your most loyal, homegrown talents are below him on that list, I gotta say that this is a bullshit list, man. Nah, this is a bullshit list.
If I was a teacher and I was trying to give him a grade from F to A, I would be like, incomplete. You gotta do research first.
I thought you were gonna say you would pull a Mr. Crocker and give them an F+.
Or Super F. Francis, what's your grade on this list?
I mean, I made a frowny face.
Frowny face.
This is why I can't be a fucking teacher.
No, we're not talking about kindergarten grades here, man. We're talking a god honest grade here.
No,
we're grown men.
Act like fucking kindergartners.
A, B, C, D, F. What is it, Blunt?
Okay, Nick Cage, slow down with the alphabetizing. Hold the phone. I'll give him a C-. C for communism, because that's what this all comes down to at the end of the day.
God damn you.
You wouldn't take the frowny face, so I'm gonna give them a C for communist, because that's what it's like. For communism.
Scott, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I was kind of pissed at you for interrupting my intro again, but this actually turned out to be a very fun segment. So,
Thank you.
Scott takes. Well, it wasn't really much of a Scott take, but Got Bash News here, and I give you the good ones.
All right.
You sure do, buddy. And with that, we are going to segue from one to prediction time for King and Queen of the Ring this weekend.
Yes, that's true, folks. That is true. King and Queen of the Ring this weekend. Still a ridiculous name, but all in all, I would say we got a pretty good card going right now. And
before we get into the card, I just want to say real quick, if this fucking show doesn't play Kings and Queens by 30 Seconds to Mars, I'm going to fucking Canadian Destroyer someone.
And it might be Scott.
Nah, it won't be Scott.
Well, then I don't know who you're Canadian destroying.
Some rando on the street.
Damn.
What? I don't know that fucker. It's not going to be any of you. You're my friends. Why would I hurt you?
Okay, moving on.
Okay, yeah, let's
moving on. So like I said, not only
versus the winner of the SmackDown bracket, which comes down to either Randy Orton or Tama Tonga.
All right, so before that, let's talk about that finals match on Monday between Gunther and Jey Uso. I'm going to be honest, I liked this match. I liked it. I genuinely...
It was such, like...
Go ahead, Scott.
The thing I liked, this is why I like Gunther, because there was, we don't really... Because the way his wrestling is, he doesn't have a move that he relies on to get the job done. He's just going to destroy your entire body until you just can't do it anymore. And I feel like we've never gotten somebody literally go to sleep with a sleeper hold in a while. And that was kind of it wasn't, I didn't hate it at all. It was wow, that's it ended the match oh my God, that match was just insane that it took that to get him out. I loved it. I liked it. I watched the whole match.
Francis.
I love Gunther too. Okay, so the cool thing about Gunther is, at the end of the day, when you get down to it, he's just a fucking villain from Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh my God, here we go.
No, that's not an insult.
Interesting.
That's not an insult. I would go into further detail to that, but I don't know if that'll get us canceled or not. But he's just this absolute unrelenting uber beast that's going to come out with you and everything you've got and purge you in the name of Imperium, because that's the type of athlete that Gunther is. If you're not an athlete that meets his standards, he will absolutely wreck you. And that's one of the things I love about his character. If not the main thing. Probably the main thing. The match was great. When he beat Jay, I think I actually heard Scott cheer from all the way over here.
Oh, that's what that noise was.
Because because it made sense for him. I'm glad they made sense for him to lose, because it wouldn't have done anything. It wouldn't have made sense to put him up against either Cody, because it would have been face and face, which I know they always try to, even Triple H still tries, you normally want to separate that. So he would obviously went to Damian Priest, and it would have just been the same outcome. He would have lost. Now if Gunther wins, we don't know what to do. We've been waiting for this.
So I'm gonna give my 2 cents on the match real quick. So first of all, I think the match was incredible, and I think it's proof that Gunther is so powerful. Not only can he beat his opponent, like Scott said, with any move possible, but this man is so powerful, he can even break the power of the Samoan Dynasty storyline. I genuinely thought that Jey Uso was going to win this match so we could have Jey versus Tama Tonga at King and Queen of the Ring this Saturday. But Gunther is so strong, he was able to break the power of the Bloodline storyline. My God, do you realize how powerful this man is?
I told you he's a fucking
If Randy Orton doesn't take care of it, then yeah, he might be the person to take down.
He can actually. He is powerful enough to beat Samoan supremacy. Damn it!
Going into this, speaking of Randy, I guess we can give our thoughts on who's going to win between Randy and Tama, and it's probably going to be Randy.
I'm going to be honest.
I think it's going to be Tama Tonga.
I would like to see Tama, but like I feel like Triple H is going to go for the more traditional heel versus face thing.
Although, here's my question:
it's hard.
Would he though? Is my thing.
Hey, look, if he's wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like, I feel like that's what it is because Triple H is a very logical booker, and that's just the most logic. Let's have a heel versus a face.
He's a logical booker, but let's also consider this specifically when it comes to Gunther.
Gotta consider the storyline.
Specifically when it comes to Gunther, specifically. Let's say that Randy does lose to Tama Tonga, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of inclined to give the win to Tama on Friday. And because here's the thing about Gunther. Yes, his character is a heel. Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. But he's so respected amongst fans at this point that like if you were to have a heel versus heel match, you probably would have some people cheering Gunther at the finals.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's just like, oh, I want Gunther to be such a heel that it loops back around to him being a babyface. That's all I heard from you, even if that's not exactly what you said.
I mean, more or less.
Well, that's wrong.
What, you're going to say it's wrong? Because it's happened before.
I know.
It's happened. Like, it's literally happened.
Even though it's hard to see Gunther as a face because kind of probably been the heel the whole time in NXT, right?
Yeah. I can not saying.
I'm not saying he's a. I'm not. Keep him. I'm not saying that he's a baby face. I'm not saying turn him full blown baby face. But as an in betweener,
I don't know.
Can we really say that? Can we really?
I feel like it's safe to call him an in betweener because, like, the way he talks and the way he holds himself. Like, he only puts you down. Like, he obviously thinks he's superior. That's his character. He's going to think he's superior than you. But it's also, like, the way he puts you down, it's like, all right, I can't just beat him with words. I need to beat him with my actions to prove that I am just as worthy as he is.
And there's another thing in
Gunther's mind.
In that in itself, specifically when it comes to Gunther, it's not that he just believes that baby faces are below him. In Gunther's mind, everybody is below him.
Yeah, everybody.
Everyone is below him.
So you can put him with anybody.
Well, yeah, he's a Hydra agent.
Shit, Roman Reigns is below him in his mind.
Literally, that's how he would speak to him if Roman actually did verse everybody in the WWE, then Gunther probably would have. he would have just been like everybody else. He probably would have stared him down. Roman probably would have backed up a bit. Like Roman's character throughout the year, throughout his title reign, was like, all right, let me just back up away from him. And he would have done that with Gunther.
True.
There would have been some intimidation factor.
Absolutely.
Now, I definitely see where you're coming from, Cass, but here's the thing. Randy is a bigger draw than Tama.
You know what? You might be right, Francis. To be honest,
no. He might be right, but here's also the other thing, because us humans, we remember, and we remember what's his name said. I can't even think of his name. There is no losing in the bloodline.
Solo Sikoa.
So we kind of think, Wayne, if this is the thing, Clays. I feel like if he doesn't beat Randy Orton and nothing happens to him as for a punishment because of that comment, but I can't think. What's his name? I can't think.
Are you talking about Solo, man?
Yeah, I said Solo twice.
I kind of blocked you off. Sorry, Francis.
Nah, that's good.
I didn't hear you. Yeah, like Solo literally said that. So if nothing happens, I feel like if anything, he can get away with it with being in the finals, like just about to win it. But like, and also Randy doesn't need it. I don't see him winning another title, so him getting farther wouldn't do anything. Like, I feel like his trajectory was to,
Gunther beating Randy. But Gunther beating Randy would do great for Gunther. Like,
True.
Yeah, but Gunther beating the entire bloodline because Tama Tonga is not going to be alone. Could be better. It could be like, it's like, damn, 2 people took out what is it? 4 members of the group? 3?
So as far as your prediction,
they're on different shows though.
So as far as predictions go, I might as well read Dom's first because Dom did send us his predictions, and he believes that Gunther is going to win King of the Ring. So between the 3 members, who do you guys believe is going to win King of the Ring?
Gunther.
Yeah, it's Gunther no matter what.
Yeah, like that's the big outlier here.
Okay.
I didn't think they were going to push this main event reign this quickly. I thought they were going to have him pile over some main event talent first, but I'm fine with this.
They're building
even though Sheamus is main event talent, but he versed, and that was like the 4th time. Just so everybody said, he did.
Right.
He's versed him so many times, it's not main event anymore. It's just you can't beat me.
Okay.
Or like plain event.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. I think all 4 of us are in agreement here because I am also picking Gunther. I genuinely believe this tournament was made for him. And it'll be nice to have a King of the Ring that doesn't walk around like a cartoon character.
Guys, I just want to let you know, when Gunther wins and becomes like King Gunther or however they're going to book this, I'm going to make so many Overlord, Red Skull, and Wolfenstein jokes.
I don't see him using the title of King of the Ring as going forward. I feel like he's going to walk away from the crown in the little cave that they give him, and he's going to be like, "It was obvious I was going to win. What else did you think?" Like, that's what I see character doing.
He has to call himself an Ubermensch.
Bro, he's not gonna accept that. He's like, I don't care about no crown, no cave. I'm down. Of course, I was gonna win this thing. Like, please.
True. All right, moving on from King of the Ring, we have the other half of the live events title, the Queen of the Ring tournament. Now, I'm gonna be very honest with you. Before we get into that, let's talk about the match on Raw between Lyra and Io. Now, Francis, I believe I heard you crying all the way from your apartment. So
I will fucking break your ankle, man. The wound has not healed over.
So why don't you start? Tell us what you thought about the match.
They're after a girl.
Francis, professional opinion.
Your professional opinion on the match.
Right.
Think with your head. Yeah. Think with your brain, not your head.
Think with your head, not with your head. Both wrestlers did an amazing job at performing on Monday night.
Who's versing on Friday? I'm sorry.
It's going to be Bianca and Nia.
Yeah. Congratulations to Lyra. I hope she does really well. And I'm totally not still burnt up about Io-chan, but like, who said that? And I can't wait to see where they go with this.
All right, Scott. While Francis goes to beat the shit out of a pillow now, what were your thoughts on the match on Monday?
my God, she's. Like watching her for the first time because I don't always watch the shows. I'm sorry for people not thinking obvious wrestling podcasts, but I don't get to watch all of it. But I watched it, and it's like I don't know. It's like I don't have words for the way she wrestles. It's just like she has like the stature of like Alexa Bliss, but it's like insane the way her character is, and I don't know. It's just that was the crazy match. It was better than Gunther's match.
Wow, I wasn't expecting to hear that from you.
Okay, well, I'm going to make my point now, and I'm actually going to say that while the matches on the men's side have been incredible, they've been incredible matches. I genuinely do believe that the women's matches have been even better. Take away, the fact that Io and Lyra, their match was fantastic. I'm actually quite surprised that Lyra won. I genuinely thought that Io was going to win that, so that they could do Bianca versus Io at King and Queen. But to be honest with you, Lyra is incredibly talented, man. And even looking past that, let's talk about the matches last week. Shayna versus Io Sky was, that was phenomenal. That was the best match of that whole night. That was genuinely match of the night last week. You come back on this week, and you probably have the match of the night for this week as well. I genuinely think it's been phenomenal. It's been a phenomenal tournament as far. I know it's one that's been like covered in injuries, but let's be honest, both tournaments have been. I think it's been fantastic, but I do genuinely believe that the women's tournament has been even better. So let's dive into the question now. It's between Nia, Bianca, and Lyra. Reading Dom's notes, and he has Lyra winning the Queen of the Ring tournament. So, out of these three, who do you gentlemen have? Let's start with Francis.
Oh, I'm gonna get fucking bits and burned for this one. I put down Bianca, but only for the reason of like I didn't want my picks to be the same as everyone else's.
Okay, that's interesting, but okay.
I believe in individuality and personal freedom. Fuck off.
I kind of understand where Francis is going, but my approach, I'm still. Sorry sorry, Cap, if you want to go next. But
go ahead, Scott.
It's I'm kind of having the same dilemma for this pick because knowing I was gonna go for Gunther because I'm really thinking he's gonna win it all. It's kind of hard for me to pick between Valkyrie or one of the SmackDown women. Because of the fact that I'm picking both sides of the same brand, and I feel like, and if I want to get a win, I feel like I shouldn't be doing that. But it's also the obvious choice of, obviously, you would split the wins between both brands. But I don't know, I'm honestly, because maybe I'm still captivated by her character. But I'm probably going to pick 3 or Dom on Lyra Valkyria.
That's interesting.
As much as it's going to be crazy seeing a person that just gets drafted and bumps up instantly wins the Rumble, not the King of the Ring.
All right, well that's interesting. All right, so I guess that only leaves me, and I'm gonna say Nia.
I will come to your house and waterboard.
Now, before we start with the comments of torturing me and like what the hell I'm thinking, let's think logically about this for a minute, shall we, gentlemen? Let's think about this for a minute.
You're joking, gotcha.
Let's think about this. Genuinely think about
joking?
this. When it comes to the history of the Queen and King of the Ring tournaments,
oh my God,
who have always been. Would you shut up for a second and let me talk? let me pose this question to you guys. In the history of this tournaments, who tends to make the better person to be king or queen of the ring? The babyface or the heel?
Well, coming from last year's, wasn't it a babyface?
Yeah, it was coming from the last
The
king
last
of the ring.
queen
It
of
was
the win was
Xavier.
babyface,
No, it wasn't.
and then it was
It was Zelina. She was
We
still
just
a
had a
heel at
whole-
that point.
We had a whole tangent about heel face dynamics and
But
It's usually
think about
here's the thing.
think about the overall.
This-
Think
the
about the
sides-
overall though. Like
Mhm.
overall throughout the history of let's focus specifically on King of the Ring, because simply due to the fact that Queen of the Ring hasn't been around long enough yet to boost this fact. But let's focus specifically on King of the Ring. Who have tend to be the better kings?
Well, Booker T was a face turned heel when he got the crown. I think, right? If I'm correct.
No,
about
he
that.
was already a heel, man.
He was a heel and he won.
He was a heel.
It was a while, folks. I'm sorry.
You think Harley Race? Harley Race was a heel. Triple H. Triple H was a heel. You want to do a bit more recent history. You know, people go back and forth whether they liked it, but Baron Corbin was a heel. Bad News Barrett was a heel. William Regal, heel. You see where I'm going here, people?
Yeah.
It tends to be that when you have a heel win these tournaments, because they're already obnoxious about how great and wonderful they are, and let's be honest, that type of character fits right up Naya's alley.
But everyone hates her for realsies, and like
And think
I'm
about
trying to-
how much they'd hate her if she was walking around with a crown and a scepter. Think about
I
that
have a
for a minute.
face.
What?
Mabel.
that's not helping, dude.
You're gonna compare
No,
Mabel?
I'm joking. I'm honestly looking through the list, and I think he's right. I kind of instead of Xavier Woods, I kind of don't see a face. I mean, there's Edge, but he was probably a heel at the time. Kurt Angle has been a heel.
No. Edge was a face. Edge was a face when he became King. Edge the Awesome.
Okay, that's one compared to how many examples that I gave, though.
Okay.
There was Kurt Angle, but I feel like majority
Kurt
of
Angle
Kurt
was a
Angle's
heel
solo
through a
career
majority of his career.
was a heel.
People
Okay,
hated
Cap.
him from day one.
Stone Cold,
I don't.
Kind of an in-betweener.
Owen Hart,
90.
Bret Hart.
Heel
Owen
at the
was
time.
Brett. Owen was a heel.
I think
was
Bret might have been heel at the time.
No, Brett was face when he won.
Yeah, he won twice, 2 in a row.
Okay, but like here's my thing. It usually tends
Wait,
to
well,
fit.
he won 3 in a row?
Yes, he did.
It
Damn,
usually
that's crazy.
tends to fit the heels
Yeah,
better
majority.
than the baby faces.
Majority rules.
Sheamus was a king, and he was a heel.
Wow, Cap. Like, don't get me wrong, Cap. You're actually not the first person to say the King of the Ring suits heels better than faces. That's not a hot take at all. The only thing I'm surprised is I had no idea that you were so moved by the My Whole segment. Wow. Like, I learn more and more about you as the years go on. my
You are
brother.
such an. Dom's not here to say it, but I'm gonna pose the question: why do I let you on this show still? Why
I'm
do
just
I let
thinking
you
of
on this
facts,
show?
man. Like,
How
you
is
know,
it that out of
Yeah,
out of the
that
entire
stupid
explanation that I just gave, that's what you took out of it, you dumbass?
Because that's the level of heel work she brings, and that is what you are championing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be impolite, but apparently I have to fucking say it out loud. That
I
is what
forgot.
you-
Tab, I forgot what Francis said because it was a stupid comment and I didn't want to remember it and I didn't. But that's exactly what I wanted to say. I think the last like when he was talking during the take, during his take on the wrestling, he said something stupid and I was like, God, I really want to kick him from this show.
Oh my!
Yeah,
For the love of
King of the
God.
Ring benefits heels, but here's the thing. you gotta be a good heel. And
You're not a heel, though.
entertaining heel.
You're not a heel. I'm the.
No, like I'm propounding a fucking counter argument to his Nia thing. Yes, King, or in this case, Queen works for heels, but like they're usually entertaining heels, not all
right, you're not changing my mind, Francis, at this point.
Evidently not.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next match. We have the
So everybody's picking.
Everybody's picked. Scott,
Yeah,
Dom and Scott have Lyra. I have Nia. Francis has Bianca. And for King of the Ring, we all went for Gunther, because of course we did.
Because we're not stupid. Oh wait.
So let's talk about the Women's Championship now. Between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan.
We got to talk about it first, stupid.
Let's talk about this for a little. I'm gonna be honest. Out of all of the matches on here, I'm not really feeling this match very much. I think that a lot of the women's division has been very concentrated on the tournament right now. And as it should be, the pay-per-view is literally for premium live event. The event is literally called King and Queen of the Ring. So it should very much be the main focus be the tournament. But even as far as like a championship match goes, I'm not necessarily feeling this right now, to be honest with you. And I'm still trying to place why.
No, I think
I can tell you why. I can tell you why.
Go ahead, tell me why.
Because I might have read your mind on this one, because it instantly hit when you were talking about it. The reason you feel that this championship match doesn't have anything to it, it's because the wrong person is champion. Because the wrong person has that title on right now. And it should have been Liv that won that title. Because Liv's character at this moment is tons more exciting than the man character that hasn't changed for 4 or 5 years.
6
years. And it's kind of like, it was unfortunate that Becky never got to finish her actual title reign story because of her getting pregnant. But it has to be changed. I mean, you keep the man character, you got to spice it up a bit more. It's kind of boring.
Here's my thing. Well, I don't think that it's that so much. I think, again, it's been hard trying to get people invested into this because, again, we all believe that Rhea should still be champion right now, as she should be. But again, it was an unfortunate thing of that she got hurt. There's literally nothing else they could have done.
Yeah, we went into like
we've had this whole debate on our previous episode. You guys should watch that, by the way, on our YouTube channel.
Nice plug.
But again,
it's them trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
It's them trying to make the best out of a bad situation. It's just it's difficult to get invested into this right now.
They were trying to play it safe,
And as much as I love Becky Lynch, she's one of my favorites. All of current right now, she's one of my favorites, and it's just unfortunate for me to say, but my opinion has no favoritism, unlike Francis.
I've never played favorite before in my life. I have no idea.
Io Sky.
Okay, so then let's raise the question. Who? Let's first mention Dom's pick for this.
Yeah.
And he has that Becky Lynch will retain the title. But Francis, why don't you tell me who do you think, Becky or Liv?
Guys, come on, it's gonna be Becky. It's gonna be Becky, you guys. Come on.
Do you have any other reason? Do you have any reason? Maybe some analysis?
I do have a reason. My reason is she's Becky Lynch in this company, and they're gonna play it safe.
Yeah, that's hard to disagree with.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Scott.
it's going to be Becky because Becky's not losing that title until Rhea comes back, which I think she's starting to work out. So might be soon. Might be like a month or two now.
They hope.
She's feeling good. So.
I'm going to also say Becky, but I will add the extra point of by disqualification. I think Liv is going to get herself disqualified.
Okay.
Right.
And that way you
think
can
anything's
further this. That way you can further this story a little bit longer.
We can drag it out.
Yeah, you can drag this out because, to be honest, you have to right now. We all understand that this is just waiting for Rhea to recover. Because the real story here is Rhea and Liv. But yeah, I think, and so you need to prolong this, and I think Becky winning via disqualification is the best way to do that.
I also feel like this revenge tour, it's not going to go good at the end of it. At the end of her, not this little, because it's a good character development for her, but I don't think it's going to go that far. Rhea being hurt really messed that up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Again, accidents happen. There's nothing they can do.
Accidents happen, but it will be corrected soon.
Cap, can I get the next one?
Go ahead, Francis.
Next up, we have, for the Intercontinental Championship, one Samuel Zayn versus Perk Gable.
And Bronson Reed.
You give him the reins and he screws it up.
Canada versus America versus New Zealand.
Is he from New Zealand? I thought he was Australian.
Nope, New Zealand. You're just racist.
How was that racist?
Okay, we're not getting into that.
I apologize.
We're not getting into that. Anyway, let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you this question. How have we been feeling about quote unquote Perk Gable?
He's not quite on Perk level yet. Give it time, but I'm digging it.
He's not there yet because he still has his faction.
He hasn't crippled anyone yet. He hasn't shot someone with a tranquilizer dart yet.
Once he's going to go through a losing patch, Chad Gable, and it's going to be once the faction crumbles, that's when he's truly going to get that push.
I hear he's going to put together a heel faction.
And I hear that heel faction involves the Creeds. The Creed brothers.
There's rumors of entertaining the idea of having your very own Kurt Angle to be Chad Gable's manager.
I would love that.
That would also be great.
The rumor, that would be awesome.
That would be the most intense, brutal, and unintentionally hilarious fucking thing you will ever see anywhere ever.
I'm gonna be honest. Yes, it would.
I also got another rumor for you.
What's that?
That this is rumors, not true. This is what I've been seeing, watching, reading.
Alleged.
It's also the fact that this is for the Bloodline, but you also know the fact that Paul Heyman's probably not going to be their wise man for that long. He's
Really?
probably I don't think he's gonna be there for that long. I feel like once Roman comes back, he's gonna leave sooner or later. Something's gonna happen within that storyline where he leaves that group, or he gets beat up and kicked from it. But I think Rikishi, I think, is up to being a manager for being the new wise man.
Oh, nice to see Rikishi.
That would be interesting. I feel like it would have made more sense when...
Would be glad to do it.
Always nice to see Quiche.
It feels like it would have made more sense if his sons were still in it, but actually, that still makes sense. Solo.
Yep.
But anyway, let's get back on topic. Let's talk about this triple threat match. So Francis, who do you? Well, before we get into predictions, let me read Dom's prediction, and Dom has Sami Zayn winning and Otis turning on Chad Gable. I do think that Otis is going to turn on Chad Gable. I absolutely agree on that. I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's like a bit obvious though. But anyway,
There's no doubt in my mind that Otis is going to turn on Gable, but I feel like they're going to save that for a stage show.
no,
I wouldn't be surprised because of how people are currently going up to Otis, talking and giving their opinions on what he should do. I wouldn't be surprised if Otis actually fully goes heel and complains he's tired of people telling him what to do. I'm making my own choices, and I want to stay with Chad Gable, and he might be the only one left in that
the
faction.
only one who gets me. I like that.
That's actually
That would be
interesting.
cool.
And technically, I mean, it's happened before.
Because when you see his face when they're like, when he goes up to him, like Cody Rhodes, I think, said something to him. I'm not sure. I know Sammy did, and it's like he still had that face of anger. So it's like I think he's still contemplating what to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, I'm staying. Like, he's helping me.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Interesting idea. And I mean, it's not completely out of the realm of belief.
That's also hoping Triple H doesn't go for the common Hollywood storyline, and he does turn.
True.
He does turn face, but
But
to each their own.
true. But anyway, Francis, who you got?
Sam. It's too early for him to lose the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
This
sense. Yeah.
This is a stretched storyline, and it wouldn't make any sense for either Gable or Bronson Reed to win it because they've both lost against them countless times.
I can see them like getting it later, but not now, Chief. You gotta let Sam cook. Let Sammy cook.
So Scott, can I assume that you are also going for Sammy then?
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. I'm gonna go for Sammy as well, but
Okay.
I'm going to throw in the added that he pins Bronson instead.
Okay.
That way you can you could stretch out the story a bit.
Yeah, but make that as a point for me because I wanted to do that.
I'm putting
You
it for
totally
both of
reminded
you.
me.
I'm putting it for both of you.
I don't see Gable getting pinned.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah,
Keep
no.
him big.
And plus, let's
Bronson
be
Reed
honest.
is whatever. Bronson Reed's a force, so it doesn't matter if he loses. He's always going to be that force that comes at you, and he's going to be that roadblock.
Oh yeah, no. Under no circumstance do I think losing, getting pinned would hurt Bronson. But also because, honestly, that's the only reason I see Bronson even having been involved in all of this. Is that he would be the one to eat the pin from either Chad or Sammy. Like that's the only way I see him being involved in any of this making sense. Because Sammy and Chad have had the actual story here. Bronson is just like, nah, fuck you, I'm gonna muscle my way into this as well.
He's literally said, and I'm here too.
I'm here too. He just takes up the most space out of everybody there. Literally and metaphorically. But yeah, no, seems that we all have Sami Zayn. And now let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about
Oh boy.
Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Cat's favorite match because we're going to have a double champion.
Well, actually, so
He's fucking with you.
no, because I'm thinking back to the segment. On
There's only
SmackDown
one
now.
title up, and there's one person that has the
Yeah.
title currently besides Cody.
Okay,
Yeah, double
so
champion, get it, yeah.
so
Nah, that's not my pick, though. That's just to get on your nerves.
all right, so let me put my hatred on pause for a second here. Let me ask you guys a genuine question.
Go
Did
for it.
anybody think that this was gonna be a good idea? Did either one of you genuinely believe that this was going to be that this was a good idea?
I mean, I don't hate it.
Do you have a
would be-
reason or like?
I like what Logan Paul is a good wrestler. It would be fun to watch Cody kick his ass. Those two can tell a good story. And as long as Cody wins, then I'm sure everything will be fine.
All right, Scott. Scott, what are your thoughts about this story?
It's unexpected, so that's good.
Yeah. It gives
I
Logan
don't-
something to do.
I understand why you hate Logan Paul, Cap, because it's the same reasons I can't stand the guy either. But as a wrestling standpoint, and ignoring the person that he actually is, he's amazing in that ring.
Mhm.
And this does help Cody Rhodes out because they have to have his title reign mean something, and having it defend against another champion kind of brings it as a, oh, it's, you're still giving him that. It's not like, oh, he's just winning over people he's going to beat. It's someone like, obviously you think he's going to beat Logan Paul, but the fact that he's another champion, it's like, oh wow, I didn't, it's like, it's going to be crazy because it's not just regular main event, mid-carder.
Well, okay, then let me rephrase this. Well, but let me tell you where my head's been with this since the beginning. And my problem with this specifically was that it's felt a little too predictable to me. Like I feel like I've been able to see when we all originally thought that this was going to be title for title, whoever wins keeps both. I genuinely thought, okay, so this is just going to end in a disqualification because you're not taking the titles off of either one of these guys right now.
Yeah.
And then last Friday happens, and now Cody's belt is the only one that's up for grabs.
Yeah.
And now it feels, and now it still feels incredibly predictable to me, because it's like, oh, so Cody's just definitely gonna win at this point.
I mean, would you rather it be Logan?
No, I'm not saying that I would. I'm just
Then shut up.
No, I feel like he feels like that because we've been waiting for Cody for so long to win that title. We also want to see him have it for a while. And no matter who he goes up against, we're always going to think we always think Cody's going to win. So this title defense is not going to be, his title defense is going to end in one of two ways. It's either he goes on through and God forbid he gets hurt and he has to relinquish the title, which is the obvious reason why, which is probably the first thing you would think of if you're thinking Cody's probably never going to lose that title. Is it's probably going to be an injury. There's also the other standpoint of now, who the hell is it going to be? Because it could be anybody, and it could be the most random person that we're like, oh, Cody's just going to beat him. And then it's like, wait, did that just happen?
So here's also the thing you have to. Here's also the thing that we have to consider. People have been saying it for a while. Whoever was going to beat Roman Reigns for that title was going to be launched into the stratosphere as far as this company goes. And now it's kind of the same story with whoever beats Cody at this point. Whoever beats Cody is going to be launched into a level of stardom that they could not possibly imagine.
Yeah.
One that's very difficult to attain and very easy to fuck up, honestly.
Yeah.
So, it's not a matter of... To me, it's not a matter of, who's going to beat him or, how long he's going to hold the title. It's going to come down to when has been enough time for us to feel like this title run has been a success.
Not now. It's still going
And
on.
it's certainly not now. That I can guarantee you that. But I do worry for the next couple of months, though, because the question remains, how long are we going to feel like that before we can say he's comfortable? It's been a comfortable amount of time for him to lose the belt.
Time's a fickle thing. We can't decide that. We just have to go along for the ride and see how the reign just goes out and does its thing,
Yeah. But anyway, let's.
I'm proud of you, Kat.
Let's go through our predictions.
So we're all
I
Cody,
feel-
right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think we're all Cody here. Even Dom has Cody retaining. So yeah, it's not even close. Cody wins,
These couple of pay-per-views are going to be kind of obvious.
Yeah.
which is exactly my fear. My fear is that how long are these going to be so obvious for us? That's my fear for the time being.
Can I ask Cap something?
What?
I don't think it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But if Logan wins,
If Logan Paul wins, he will receive such nuclear levels of heat. Do you remember my WrestleMania prediction when I said that what would happen if Logan Paul pinned Randy Orton to retain his title? Imagine the type of heat that this dude would get if Cody Rhodes won. If he pinned Cody Rhodes.
It's just I'm asking of what you in particular are gonna do.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I'm not giving you the satisfaction, Francis. Fuck you. I'm not giving you the satisfaction. All right, folks. So we are going to wrap things up there. Be sure to tune in with us next week for our review of King and Queen of the Ring. Once again, be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at The Push Wrestling. And be sure to like and subscribe for weekly podcast episodes. We got a lot of great plans coming up this summer. And we hope that you guys will be subscribed and join us along for this ride. But for all of us here at The Push, including Dom, my name is Cap.
Got Bash.
And I'm Francis.
Kind of awkward because he's not here, but somebody ring that bell.